Hey, have you ever thought, what if I wanted to play a Warcraft 3 game that was a little bit more modern? What if I wanted to play a Warcraft 3 game that was just a little bit decent? That gave me that same vibe as that first moment when I met Arthas and Uther. But what if I want something with a bit more complex of a resource management system strapped to it? Well, then, damn, do I have something to show you today. This is Age of Darkness. Now, again, this playtime is a lie because I've been playing a lot on my wife's account. Right, I got this game for her to see if she liked strategy games. She didn't, so I played it on her account. Then I started playing it here. I'm going to show you what a good, solid experience of a game it is. Oh yes, and by the way, all of this is completely unsponsored. None of this game... I don't know who the f*** these people are, but I feel like they made a pretty solid good game that is enjoyable and fun to play with unique units and super strong resource management. This game right here has been something very special and something I've been playing every now and then since early access. I feel like this is another game that if you truly enjoy top-down RTS strategy games, you're going to enjoy this. Is that the They Are Billions ripoff? I think it's close to They Are Billions, but I would say it's more RTS than They Are Billions. So, I'm going to go into the campaign, and I'm going to show you the first campaign mission. Right, as you can see, I've completed the campaign. I've gone all the way to the end. Right, so we're going to go back to the first mission. And I want you to see how you feel about this game. Is that AI art? No. It's all hand-drawn. Right? So I want you to see what kind of vibe this gives you. Because I love the way that they've built out these maps. Right? I enjoy that they've put some effort into this background. That they give you a little preamble like you used to get in Warcraft 3. That you get some idea of what's going on. Who are the main characters? Right? And I wouldn't say it's that different from Warcraft 3, but it sure as fuck feels like an update to the formula of Warcraft 3. You don't have 100% on all the objectives. You're right, I don't, Supergod. So I'm going to show you this mode, because I think the story alone makes this game worth it, but then I'm going to show you my favorite mode after that. We never 100% anything.
Hector thinks you need more experience in the field. And I agree. Follow my orders, and we'll get through this alive.
Oh, this is exciting, Edwin. I've never been this far north before. I hope we see nightmares.
This is a security job, Aurelia. We're on the lookout for criminals wearing the Iron Talon insignia.
Oh, you mean like them?
Leave us alone! We've nothing left to give ya!
Yeah?
Do you see the vibe?
I bet you've got plenty for us to take.
Stop! By the authority of the Order, you must face justice.
Aurelia, wait! Blasted girl's gonna get herself killed.
Okay, now I'll pause the game there. But did that not feel like you were playing some alternate universe version of Warcraft 3? Jaina and Arthur's walking. Did that not activate a little circuit in your head where if you wanted more Warcraft 3, this game might be the thing that gives it to you? With a high, it's going to come later, but there's a higher degree of resource management that occurs within this game. And I'll show that to you as well. So, this right here is one of the heroes in the game. Not that different from Warcraft 3. Edwin. Edwin has 4 abilities at the bottom of the bar here. Not that different. Actually, I should turn off the chat so you can see what this looks like, right? As you can see, I've rebound those keys to make this easier on me, because I'm a freak of nature. I'm a weird and wacky little motherfucker. I like using W, A, S, and D to move around the map, and then I'll use the keys around it to decide what I'm going to do next, right? I'm weird when I play RTS games. This is just the setup I'm good. That works for me. So I want you to take a look at this. And I want you to think about Warcraft Reforged versus this game, considering that this is a fully indie game at this point. So we've got our auto attacking. We've got some engaging gameplay here, where I can just stand still and let Edwin beat the shit out of these characters. What you may notice is these are different units. That's a soldier. The soldier's got a name. This is an archer, Sky. He's about to become a woman beater. Here we go. And we leveled up. Look at that. We got a new ability called Inflame. Like I said, not that different from Warcraft 3. But let me tell you, it scratches that itch. It scratches that itch real good. So I'm just going up here because I don't think I went up here the first time I played the game. And you know, usually there's little hidden things every now and then. This game has a 2 in some of the missions. What you'll notice is a little bit different from other games. Is Edwin doesn't have a mana bar. He just has an experience bar. So his abilities are all cooldown based. Now look at the detailing on everything around here. And ask yourself,
as you wish.
How the fuck did an indie team do this? And Warcraft Reforged couldn't.
Or end.
So I'm going to activate his ability. Nice burning sword. Good animations on that.
Another corpse for the pyre. Forward.
Yeah, wait for the Ashes of Creation release. That'll be out before my video. And here we go. Now discount Jaina.
Never
back in the
charge
picture.
headlong into a confrontation. It isn't safe.
Safe for who? The bandits? I'm not a helpless little girl, Edwin.
We can't stand round waiting for our livelihoods to be stolen from us, Elizabeth. If the Order won't do something about it, I will.
Your fighting days are behind you, Gregory. Think of our son. There's no sense in dying for shovels and pickaxes.
Great. More bloody Order knights. I'll clean up your mess for you, shall I? Les, fetch me my spear.
Excuse me, our mess? Who do you think you're talking to?
What is your quarrel with the Order?
Since you Order folk ain't been keeping the bandits in check, they ruined our farm, tore down our walls, and stole our supplies. You want to be useful? Get our goods back.
Look at that.
The Order doesn't run errands for peasants. It slays nightmares and punishes criminals.
The Order serves the needs of the people, Aurelia. Sir, we'll return your goods and help you repair your village.
So, that reminds me very much of the same mission
we
that you do in Warcraft 3. One of the very same,
Let's go.
very similar looking area where there's a bunch of peasants being attacked by bandits. Now, what you'll notice around here is there's a bunch of farms. There's also a keep.
Point me towards the fun.
This is important, because this is where the RTS elements come in.
I'm ready
But we're
for
probably
anything.
not going to get into this in this part of the video, in the campaign. So I'm gonna show you something outside
Where
of this,
to?
which kind of acts like a skirmish, kind of does, where you have like versus against other players. Now what you'll
Fear
notice is
nothing.
Aurelia is also another hero unit. Not that different from Warcraft 3, right? Now, she's got one passive and one active ability currently. But Aurelia, a little bit of a spoiler, changes over time as the story changes. This is not her final form. Edwin, that old bastard, don't change at all. But I have to say, the weakest part of this game is probably the story writing, because some of it feels rushed. But the gameplay itself, the details,
For all of
the
Eridar.
itch that it scratches in the back of my head that I always wanted
The
for more
golden hair,
Warcraft 3.
Edwin.
That looks like all of it. We should
This game
return
does
to
it.
the village center.
I'm gonna ignore these bandits because I don't care.
Look out! It's an ambush.
Yeah, it's fine. Here's one of the funny parts about this game. You don't get
For
blocked
all of
off.
Eridar.
You can just quite literally run away and not
Find our
care.
stolen goods, did you? How about you put them to good use? Show us your word means something and rebuild our farm.
Why do these Norfolk peasants show us such disrespect? The Order is here to help.
That may be so, but the Order have to atone for our mistakes. In their eyes, as mine.
I missed plenty back there, Super God. I'm trying to give an expose of this game, not ruin it for you. So, neat little thing, now the game's teaching us about the repair mechanic. Repair the damaged farm.
We'll need a good source of lumber if we're to keep up with repairs.
Now the game's asking us to, learn how to build things. This is your build menu, right here, nice and neat. Right, we're gonna go to the resources and select the lumberyard. Right, not too different from an orc sawmill or anything else in Warcraft, so the translation between the two is not that difficult. You see, it's got a building time. Now, what's neat about this game is you don't have to micro a bunch of fucking peons or wisps or a bunch of worker units. Shit just auto builds for you. You've got 3 primary resources: villages, population, and food rations. Right? Now, the ones that are the most important are your villages and your food rations. If you don't have enough food, you can't get more villages. If you don't have enough villages, it's hard to get more food because you need to fill farms with people to generate more food. Below that are a set of other resources. These are your gold, your lumber, your stone, your iron, and your dark essence, right? These resources play into your buildings, they play into units you generate.
Please,
It's a
Knight,
bunch of mix
my
and match,
husband
but it's great.
took off to fight back against the Talon himself. He hasn't come back. Please, you need to help him.
We'll find him. Hopefully he's still in one piece.
So we've got some adventure up here.
Fear not,
First they ask us to run errands, and now they wander off to get themselves killed.
We can go defend the
This
villages.
is an opportunity to restore some faith in the Order. Let's not squander it.
You're getting little
Faith
story
doesn't
elements.
win battles.
Embers guide me.
Right, you're getting little story elements, you're finding out who these people are. You might not know who the Order is, but you're getting hints that the peasants aren't too fucking happy with the Wish.com alliance right here. That they're not holding up their end of the bargain.
Bad night. Let's get the rest of these Talon bastards together.
Forward.
And now we've got some units.
Fear
We
nothing.
now have 2 archers and 2 swordsmen.
Yeah.
Or soldiers, right? Soldiers are your basic unit. Archers, another basic unit,
Let's go.
just a basic ranged one. Now, what's pretty interesting is different factions have different solutions to these problems, but the general unit translation between them is pretty standard. Where the interesting part comes in is the modifiers
for
that
anything.
each faction gets. And I'll show you some of that just now. But so you can see the gameplay is not like overly difficult or high speed, which I kind of like because I'm an old fuck and trying to keep up with these people doing 20 million APM moves is insane to me. I don't have the time to have a stroke on a keyboard. You think you should learn Unreal? What do you mean, the engine? I mean, it's not a bad place and it's very transferable to other engines.
By my hand.
So, don't these
Again.
cages look a little bit familiar? Kind of remind you a little bit of the Warcraft ones where they were dangling off the pole.
Light the way.
But not that different, right? Or the cages when you were dealing with Illidan.
Knight!
You probably already know it, but on the low chance you don't, did you see Manor Lord? Yes, I've seen Manor Lords.
Aye.
I'm very well aware of them.
You're free.
What's next?
I've actually been
Now
looking for time
fight
to
with
play them.
us.
So you see we got a few more units there. We freed those. Really, really giving you Warcraft 3 vibes with an updated formula.
We shall not waver.
Oh, no, never mind. They're still there. I just skipped a part of the story. So I'm just going to attack, move, and let them go at it. Nice, easy, simple mission. Teaches you basics. You learn how to build resource buildings. Teaches you a little bit about the game. Let's crank this up a little bit.
Thank you. I suppose we could work together from here. Help me avenge my son, seeing as it's the Order's fault he's gone. Repairs won't do no good if those bastards can come back anytime they like.
So we've got to repair the gate. And now it's asking us to build a new gate here. So now we learn about building. So I'm going to build a nice, neat little gate over here. Now, gates and walls in this game are pretty important. This is the part that's kind of like they are billions. Where it's kind of like a tower defense system, but also mixed in with an RTS. So, when nighttime comes in this game, sometimes nightmarish monsters come out of the forest, out of the darkness, and try and gangbang you to death.
I stand
So,
prepared.
towers, basic units, like basic buildings, super easy, but these are not Warcraft 3 towers. They don't just randomly start shooting shit on their own. What
Where
you
we
gotta do
heading?
is you gotta select an archer and throw them into the building. Pretty standard, pretty logical. What's nice is you can throw archers into buildings, you can pull them out of buildings, you can tear down the buildings if you don't like them. But this is why I say the strategy elements of this game feel very, very similar
Swiftly.
to Warcraft 3.
Time for you worthless Order Knights to show us what you're capable of for once.
You call us worthless, and yet we just saved you. You'd be dead without us. Dead.
Can you bring my boy back from the grave, girl? No? Then how about you put up your fists and fight for our town instead?
See, we got some conflict going on
You
here.
wanted action, Aurelia. Now's your moment. Ready your weapon.
So this is teaching you a little bit about invasion.
I'm ready for anything.
Right? But it's letting you practice the game. This is obviously tutorial stuff. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. Right? I don't think I need to show you any more
For
of
the
this,
Order.
because I don't think it's going to show you anything more of value. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my most enjoyable part of this game and the most replayable component of this game. It is slow, it is steady, but it is also incredibly fun. If you've got a whole day to burn. Understand, when you play a survival game, just go normal. If you play a survival game, it is going to last you days or an entire day. It is not a short thing to play a survival game. So, now we can go through the heroes, right? We've got Edwin, introduced him in the tutorial. Then we've got his buddy Merrick. We've got Aelus, we've got Cyrus, we've got Visago, and we've got Aurelia. Now, that might be a little bit of a spoiler, but you'll see how we get there. So, if you play the game, if you enjoy it, you know, or whatever. I'm gonna pick Visago. And we're gonna go into the survival element of this game. Now, this is where all the base building and resource management and all of that comes into play. What you'll notice is we've got a keep,
lost soul.
and we've got a bunch of allies where we run around, we attack shit. Yes, this is Age of Darkness filter. So what I'm looking for in this mode is I'm looking to level up Visago as much as possible and get my units, my cultists, emboldened. If I hit spacebar, I get to pause and think about what I'm doing. If you're in multiplayer against someone else, I don't think you get to pause. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building. I need people, which means I need to start building houses.
Thrill me.
All at the same time, I can start rushing around, killing these enemies while it's still daytime and while they're still weak. When nighttime hits, bad shit starts happening, and enemies get a lot more dangerous.
We move.
So what I'm doing is I'm clearing some of the fog of war. I'm deciding where my bottlenecks are, how I'm going to build up my city, where is dangerous, where are all the resources. Oh look, there's some stone there. Maybe I want to build a quarry there. We're clearing out a few enemies, widening our expanse, deciding what the hell's going to happen next. What you'll see here at the bottom are these 3 little pips. When those 3 pips turn red, that means 3 days and nights have passed, and now the big scary enemies are going to come and try and tear down our city as much as possible. Right? So we've built our first little hovel here. If we're going to the resources, we're going to build some food. We're going to drop that down. We're going to drop down a lumber mill because we need both food and wood. What good man out there doesn't need a hard set of wood?
Your mind.
Long hard wood to deal with.
Over here.
Hey, if you could grow more of it, wouldn't you?
The heart still beats.
So, I'm looking around, figuring out what area do I have, what's been randomly generated for me to use. What's good, what's bad, what do I need to stress about? How am I going to build out my city? That's the beginning of the survival mode, right? Now we build out our hero over time. We build a few more buildings. We pick things out. We get some research going. We can develop things to make our city more structured, more functional, put ourselves in a better place and get prepared to deal with the big scary enemy that's coming for us in a few nights. So, along that same vein, at some point you're going to get to this stage, where after a few nights of invasions and people attacking you, you'll have built out your city, and you'll start getting into about the mid-game. Here's what the mid-game looks like. So, this is my city that I've built out. Bunch of houses. I've got my storehouses. There are a million different buildings in this game to learn. And my enemy, my main hero is over here. Right? I've got all of his abilities. You get 1 per level. I've got him running away. Not sure why. Can't remember exactly what I was doing. And what I'm trying in this mode is I'm trying to go as siege heavy as possible so I don't rely on troops. I've built out using this skill tree to specifically rely on siege for all my damage. I've built up my walls. I've upgraded my certain towers, etc, etc. My houses are no longer little hovels. This is what the mid-game looks like. 2 nights away, big army comes and tries to bash this all down. I try and defend as much as possible. See if I've got a late game here somewhere. I'm sure I did. Ah, damn it. I don't think I do, actually. No, I don't. I've only got mid-games here. I think I deleted my one survival game because I kind of lost. But that's essentially Age of Darkness. I think it's a very interesting game. I think it's super fun for its price tag. If you liked Warcraft 3 and you need something that scratches the Warcraft 3 itch, even if it's just a campaign, I think that's what makes this game worth it. To end this off, and to help you understand how impressive it is that this indie game has somehow managed to make a game that is super, super cool with such a small team that somehow outperforms anything that Blizzard puts out these days, I'm going to show you a cinematic. The prologue. Here you go.
Long ago, In the Age of Darkness, the land of Eredar was ravaged by battles between the Elosan race above and the accursed nightmares below. Primitive humans were mere prey for the nightmares, until the Elosa, in their wisdom, forged great crystals infused with their blood that could seal the nightmare breaches. With the nightmares contained, the Elosa taught us language, civility, and how to wield the dark crystals against a common threat. Together, we were able to rid the land of nightmares. Over the ages, humans thrived, conquering the lands of Eredar and beyond. The human king, Ezekiel, in his lust for power, sought to overthrow the Elosa and gain their blood powers for himself. In an act of unforgivable defiance, the Elosa banished King Ezekiel to the realm of nightmares, the Vale. Our conflict with the Elosa spawned a bloody uprising that lasted generations. Eventually, the Elosan betrayers were eliminated from Eredar and the world entirely. In their place, the Order was founded, that we might continue to battle the nightmares and seal them in the Vale. Kings and queens come and go, empires rise and crumble, yet the Order remain, ever alight in the darkness.
You might be recognizable. So, that is Age of Darkness. I would say that it's become, over time, one of my favorite RTSs that's got a heavy management system strapped to it that you can just vegetate out and play. Switch off your brain, hyper-focus on the game, and just enjoy yourself. If you are a Warcraft 3 enjoyer, if you just haven't been satisfied with any kind of campaigns similar to Warcraft 3, and you just haven't had that itch scratched, I would genuinely say that this game is worth your time. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it an advance on the formula? Absolutely. Is the story as good as Warcraft 3? No, it's not. But it's still good enough that I feel like it is worth most people's time who enjoy this genre. So I hope that helped. I hope that someone out there got some value out of this and is willing to try this game.